So why would anybody want to learn a language? I mean, you just can meet a ton of friends and have all these crazy opportunities in life and go on an adventure. I mean, who wants to do that? Oh, wait, actually, that sounds pretty awesome. So in this video, I have 10 reasons for you why knowing another language can make your life even more awesome. And different reasons might speak to you more, but I'll mention some things you might not have thought about, so make sure you stick around to the end to catch them all. And spoiler alert, you don't even need to be fluent to start enjoying some of these benefits. Some can happen even after knowing just a little bit. Hey, Ghost Jen here from Breakout and Speak, trying to help you feel pumped to know a language, because pretty awesome. So let's jump right in. Number 1, you can make someone's day or at least make them smile. And this can actually happen even with just a little bit of language. Don't believe me? So one time I was walking down the streets of New York City, and I happened to be walking exactly on the same street as a good friend of mine who was with family from Brazil. So we go to introduce ourselves and I say prazer, which means nice to meet you in Portuguese. And you should have seen the mom's face. It lit up. She was so excited. She wanted to talk to me. And that was, what, after one word? So even knowing a little bit of a language can potentially change your interaction with somebody else, or at least make them smile. Number 2, heard of New York City? Been to it, perhaps? So traveling and only knowing English is like going to New York City and only going to Times Square, and that's it. And as a native New Yorker, that sounds awful. Why would you want to do that? There's so many great things to do and see in New York, so why would you want to limit yourself to one very specific touristy area? So only knowing one language when you travel isn't terrible, but your choices are then more limited. And I will say, I mean, who wouldn't sign up for a tropical beach vacation on a resort and you don't have to worry about a thing? I mean, of course, sign me up. However, the most rewarding trips that you'll ever take in your life, possibly that might change your life, are gonna be when you go off the beaten path, when you really get to know the people in the countries you're visiting. And let me ask you a serious question. Where do you think you're gonna find the most authentic, most delicious, homemade food? In the touristy areas, or by talking to people who actually live there? I mean, come on now. Reason 3. So imagine being somewhere and nobody spoke your language, but one person did. How would you feel? Probably pretty thankful, right? Now flip it around. You could be that person for somebody else. Number 4, getting to know other people and making friends. And one of the most rewarding and amazing parts about learning a language is then being able to get to know other people. There are like more doors that are open to you. In some cases, millions of doors to get to know potentially millions of people. And if you happen to be in the more beginner stages of learning a language, just know that that is waiting for you as well, and is something that happens naturally the more time that you spend in a language. As long as you are taking steps to speak, break out and speak, subscribe, stick around for more tips on how to do that, because speaking to other people is one of the most rewarding, amazing, potentially life-changing parts about knowing another language. Reason number 5. All right, for all you practical people out there, knowing another language really helps with career opportunities. It opens up more doors. And when I graduated college, it was during an economic recession, fresh out of college, not really high on the priority list of being hired. But I was, and I got a job doing exactly what I wanted to do because I spoke another language. Undeniable that knowing another language is only a plus. It gives you an edge over other people, and it just gives you more choices in what you want to do. And if you're curious about some numbers, the New American Economy in a report found that the demand for bilingual employees has more than doubled in the past 5 years, only rising from then. And the BBC estimates that knowing another language can be quite worth it. And now I'm not exactly sure the breakdown of this number. However, even if, okay, it's less than that, still knowing another language can literally pay for itself by a lot. And hey, maybe you don't want to use a language on the job, but if you know another language and you happen to work remotely at least part of the time, then it opens up the opportunity, if you wanted to work from wherever. And your new problem is just going to be how to actually get work done while in a different country on the beach. I mean, good luck to you, but not a bad problem to have, no? Number 6. So learning a language gives you learning confidence. And let me explain, because I don't really hear people talking about this at all. So in the beginning, a language seems like this big, scary thing that seems complicated and all these things that you have to memorize, and it's confusing. However, if you start understanding more and more. You get more and more pieces down. And then you do it. You're successful. You learned a language. Go you. And then you think, oh, okay, it seemed hard, but I did it and I was successful. Huh, what else can I do? And this, sometimes for some people, it becomes addictive. They think of, okay, what other language can I learn? But it doesn't even have to be another language. It can be anything. You can take that learning confidence and you can use it and apply it to anything else that you want to learn, which is invaluable. Reason number 7. Hey, do you like music? Any music? Shows? Movies? Books? YouTube, perhaps? Did you know that there's a ton of amazing content in other languages just waiting for you about things that you like? Oh, and did I mention you can watch Netflix for as long as you want and not feel guilty because you're learning? I mean, how awesome is that? And personally, I love using content as a key step in learning a language because it makes it more fun. And by the way, I did a video on how to learn a language from start to finish, trying to break it down in a way that makes it easy to follow along. I'll leave it in the description. Check it out after this video. So discover amazing content that you never would have known about, and music. You get to learn in a way that's fun at the same time, and it's guilt-free. I mean, come on, how big of a win is that? Number 8. And speaking of content, it just hits differently if you know another language. So if there's any music, especially, or literature that you like in another language, and you know some of that language, oh, man, it hits differently. And this one's a little bit hard to explain, but you'll know it when you feel it because it's a unique experience that not even a translation can give you. Reason number 9, and learning a language is good for your brain. It actually makes you think faster, switching between tasks. They found it's better for multitasking and actually accomplishing both tasks. It helps with your memory. It helps with keeping sharp. In studies with brain scans, they found that it helps delay the onset of any dementia by 4 years. 4 extra years of mental sharpness. So smarter, faster, sharper. Hey, not too bad, right? And last but definitely not least, reason number 10. And it's fun. I mean, not every second of every day, but then you start to have these moments. Okay, slowly at first, building up to more and more until it pretty much is always fun. That things like, at first it seems foreign and it's complicated and it's frustrating. But then you have these little shining moments where you start to understand things and they start clicking, or maybe you have a positive interaction with a stranger. You can just sit around with friends and talk and hang out and laugh about things. I mean, opportunities to travel, you know? All of these things that happen to you when you learn a language are extremely rewarding. So no matter what, language just makes your life better in a ton of different ways. And I almost didn't know that because for years I saw language as something that was kind of scary and I was really shy to speak. So I didn't, unfortunately, until eventually I decided to let that go and started getting out there and speaking to way more people. Changed my life, which is why I'm so passionate about helping other people learn languages. So what about you? What's your reason to learn a language? I would love to hear from you in the comments below. And by the way, there's no reason that's small or silly. Oh, and there are even more reasons to learn a language I couldn't even cover, but I want to show you, like literally show you. Like I'm gonna take the camera, I'm gonna go out in the world and I'll show you. You know, it's one thing to talk about it and I'm happy to do that, but it's something else to see it in action. So make sure you subscribe, stick around. You can see some of these things in action so you can really see how knowing another language could potentially, I don't know, possibly change your life. Maybe make you smile, at least do something that adds to it in some sort of positive way. So happy language learning and catch you soon. Wait, bilinguals are shown to have greater empathy and understanding other people's feelings. They're faster and more accurate. Oof, all right. Oh, and the study of dementia, actually, it's an average of 5 years of extra mental sharpness. because, quoting now, bilinguals can compensate more because they have extra gray matter and alternative neural pathways. That's right. Oh, and another study of people who suffered from a stroke, that cognitive recovery was twice as likely for bilinguals, probably for the same reason. Hey, it's good for you.